Good time zones, my Sakonauts. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as the Witch of Tylwyth Teg, and today I don't have the book with me at the moment, but we are going to talk about self-care, but from the Witch's Book of Self-Care by Arin Murphy-Hiscock. You caught me at a time when in between streams and haven't gotten my morning started yet, and it's snowing very lightly, and I'm just going to take it easy. All right, so I would like to start. If we haven't met before, I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It's very nice to meet you. Can I do this? I think I can. If you have been here before, then, oh my God, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for coming back. I'd like to start this morning with a grounding ritual to start your day. This starts near your domain, so if, oh, there's snow in my chair. If you haven't created a domain, you might want to sign up for my newsletter, which is linked below in the description. Sit with your hands in your lap and close your eyes. I'm trying not to do the boob thing. Okay, I am not doing the boob thing. Also, we're gonna have some ASMR from cards and stuff. All right. Take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it for a moment. And as you let it out completely through your mouth, let go of the tension from the night and the grogginess of the morning. Take another deep breath in. As you breathe in, imagine you are breathing in pure love. And as you breathe out, imagine you are breathing out forgiveness. Take a third deep breath in, and as you do so, imagine a light coming in at the top of your head. It enters at the top of your head and spreads down over your face, neck, and shoulders. This cleansing light now expands along your back, down your legs, and out through your feet. It is as if cleansing light is a constant flow of soothing energy entering from your head and passing out through the arches of your feet. You are just outside of your domain. The air is crisp and cool. The evergreen sways slightly in the breeze, and the ground has a large patch of moss at your feet. Step barefoot onto the moss. Feel how soft it is. Feel the solid ground underneath. That light coming into your head can now be translated into energy that you can send out your feet. Convert the light into roots and send the roots out the bottoms of your feet and deep into the earth, as deep as you can. The soil is fresh, easy to toil, easy to carve a path down. Feel how anchored you are, how close to the earth. Reach as far down as you can. The earth hugs your roots comfortably, no matter how sharp or curly, no matter how many times they split off. Slowly pull the roots back up the way they came. Your roots slither through the dark, the soil filling in its wake. Pull the roots back into your feet, convert it back to the light, and let the light filter through you and out the top of your head. Take one more deep breath in and begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome. If you're just joining us, we just did our morning grounding ritual. If you are interested in more meditations like this one, but maybe a little bit more exploratory, you might want to look at subscribing to my Patreon, where I will be releasing 2 a month to help you on your supernatural and spiritual journey. Until then, you can join me for coffee in the mornings here on YouTube. I'm thinking about putting some videos of each of the things that I offer on this YouTube channel so that it's not 100% lives. And just to kind of like give people a hint as to what it is that I'm offering. I wanted to say hi to Spence, even though she can't stay. See you later, Spence. Thanks for dropping in. Hi, Katerina. Hi, Al. It's a wild Alexis. I was on Doll's stream on Twitch. I showed up late. I left early. And she's here.
And I'm here. Hi.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Long time no see.
Well, you know, I realized that making my streams in the mornings on Tuesdays means that when I say goodbye, it's like see you next Tuesday. So my goodbye is like basically, all right, guys, see you next Tuesday, which is
see you later.
Oh man, I had fun. I mean, it was my first stream on Twitch. I don't know how to use Twitch, so I was pretty much a newbie and I didn't promote it.
Well, but you put it on your server, which is a step. You know.
It's a step. But thank you so much for being there. And what are we talking about right now? Are we reading a book?
We are reading a book. I am going to pull a card for self-care.
Ooh, I'm right on time for tarot, which is always calling me out.
I know, right? I'm just going to get myself situated first.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will read from the Witch's Book of Self-Care by Arin Murphy-Hiscock.
Love this book so far.
I think it's pretty practical for people in general, not just from a witchy standpoint.
Exactly. It seems, ouch. It seems very, straightforward, very practical. Like you don't have to be a witch to find something from this book.
Exactly. All right. Card. It's flurrying outside. I have to go on my computer. I'll get my sound back up here in a second. Sako takes us on trips. I do.
Yes.
Especially today. I'm sorry I did out when I did.
No, I got it totally. It's like, hey, the other stream is beginning.
Not just that, but I really had to go to the bathroom. Like, really bad.
We're human. You are human. I'm an alien. I'm still an alien. But you know, even aliens go to the bathroom. Right?
Even aliens go to the bathroom. Okay, let's see what's up here. 10 of Pentacles.
Ooh, that's the end of a cycle.
It is the end of a cycle.
In the material sense.
It is. Here we go.
Show me.
Ooh. Accomplishment and completion. You've reached a point of success on your journey, facing challenges and overcoming them. The foundation for achievement has been laid, and you are now able to kick back, relax, and enjoy your efforts. Contributing your time and talents to your community is appreciated, and they are more than willing to support you back. Legacy and tradition are important to you so that you are still able to make an impact after you're long gone. Whether that means making sure your loved ones are provided for or creating a work of art that will withstand the tests of time, you are making a statement of who you are and what you stand for. Wealth circles around you holistically, continually supporting you with love, community, and stability. I'm there for you.
Right. I feel called out in a way because casually today I'm trying to finish the slush pile of manuscripts, and I'm like, wow, well, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I just gave a person feedback on their story that was not a slush pile thing, but that was just like feedback.
Right.
Yeah, I feel called out, but in a good way. I am very happy that I can provide, like I told you, and when we were chatting in my thing, I never thought I was going to find myself in that side of the query inbox. Like I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, right.
Hi.
And it's like daylight and stuff.
It's daylight over here.
Yeah.
It's daylight in Argentina. Hello, guys. Nice to see you.
I feel honored that you feel comfortable enough to show your face.
I'm presentable.
You are presentable.
I am presentable today. Not always. I'm not always presentable. I sometimes feel like, my face is a mess and everything is a disaster. So sometimes it's just that I don't feel I'm presentable for a camera. But today I am. So it's all right.
It's a wild doll.
It's a wild doll appears, and not headbanging this time.
And not headbanging this time. Yeah. I can't tell you why people have kids. I think the theory is that you'll have someone to take care of you when you're old or something like that.
That is one of the reasons.
But I don't know.
That is one of the reasons. That is
no benefit for me.
I met someone who didn't want a husband, didn't want marriage or that kind of thing, but she wanted a child because she didn't want to be alone when she's older. That was the answer.
You know what? If you know what you want, you know what you want.
You know what you want. You just have to be clear from.
You don't necessarily need the whole package.
Yeah, and if you're clear from the start, like, look, I don't want marriage, I don't want a husband, I just want to have a child, and I want to be a mother, I want to be a single mom. I mean, if you can do that and you can provide for your child, then you just explain to your child, like, yeah, your father is over there, we don't have any conflict. It's not like we went through a hell of a divorce. I just wanted to be your mom. That's it.
Yeah.
And that I don't know if that would work. Well, but if you're honest to your child and you just wanted a child and you explain and you don't restrict the access from your child, you don't restrict access to seeing the father or the mother, I think things would be okay.
It also depends on whether or not you go to a fertility clinic or
exactly
you do artificial insemination where there was technically no father,
Exactly. But
no
like,
contact with him.
don't restrict your child from knowing what happens. Like, don't deny this to the child, because when you do that, when you cut off the other parental figure because you're hurt and because you're proud and because you went through a hell of a divorce and you don't want to do anything with the husband or wife, you're cutting off something from the child. So that's where I have a problem. I can speak because I am the daughter of a single parent who later was adopted, because even that single parent was like emotionally unavailable, and I was basically on my own. Yeah, I have a complicated story. There's a lot of abandonment. We were talking about that in last stream about abandonment issues, and also thank you for the book recommendation. I'm looking up that book, Spence.
Yeah, the emotionally vacant childhoods. I'm here for it. I need to look into it too.
I went through it, so I know that that's
too.
a big burden on the child. So that's why I say what I say. But yeah, one of the answers is people just don't want to be alone when they are older.
Yeah, it's one of the answers. Absolutely. So it looks like the topic for today is teas.
Tea?
Tea.
Oh,
Like the kind you drink. And you can, a lot of these you can also use as a bath. But we'll probably, so Arin Murphy-Hiscock is really good about, like, I'll make a comment and then she says it like 2 paragraphs later. So I just need to keep reading before I make a comment.
yeah.
Yeah, and Al says it's nice to have a mini-me.
Yeah, I don't experience that need. I'm not a maternal person in that sense. I just don't want kids. Like, I don't feel it. Now, if I find later in life there's a situation in which a child is basically neglected and I could be that force of support like my mother was to me, my adoptive mother, I don't have a problem with that. I can be your adoptive mom if you need to. Like, if it, yeah, I mean, I would walk on the footsteps of my parents, my adoptive parents. They took me in, no obligation, no need to do that. They just did it because they did it, because they saw that I needed it, and they didn't have kids of their own, and I was like, and they took me in. It's my adoptive parents are not married. They don't know each other except for through myself. They know each other because of me. They have communicate. Yeah, they communicated. They chat sometimes because of me. But they are not married. They are not in a relationship. We are basically 3 family units in 3 different countries.
I have no idea. That's really interesting.
That is my family. I mean, it's very disjointed and very like, what the crap is that? But I know, but that's my family.
Not what the crap is that. It's just
it's a completely
your pool for what is home to you is so much wider than the average bear.
Yeah. It's I feel at home where dad lives. I would feel at home wherever mom wants to live, and I can find my home on my own because it doesn't matter where I am. If I have mobility,
home is with you, right?
Home is with me. And then I also have my parents, but like, it's an emotional support that my biological parents never gave me or couldn't give me. One of my 2 biological parents was there, but just for the material aspect, like for giving me a roof, but it didn't give me anything else. So, and the other biological parent was just never there from the start. Like, they just walked away. I was born, they were gone. That's the story.
You can choose your family.
You can choose it. Exactly. Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to obey destiny.
I think of you as my sister.
Yeah. I feel that with people in the community. Sometimes I feel it in the wrong places, but we learn, we grow, and we learn. And family is whom you choose to be.
So I mentioned that I have trouble with the word love with my mom. My mom has always been emotionally distant, and I was really worried for her when she was in the hospital a couple weeks ago. And so I told her I loved her, and she just, shrugged it off. And so I went to my server and I was like, boo hoo hoo, my mom doesn't love me. And I wish she would just admit it that she does. And Christina and Nicole and Spence were basically like, we're moms and we adopt you.
Yeah.
So now I have 3 moms.
I mean, look, if I have to move a little bit, but like, you see that thing over there?
Yeah, I do.
It's the Finnish flag. If I have a Finnish flag hanging on my door, it's for a reason. It's my dad. I'm big part of my heart is in Finland. I don't look Finnish. I know. I'm not blonde, blue-eyed Nordic. Actually, my dad is not blonde, but he has dark hair actually. But the stereotypical Finnish person, I don't look like that. I know that, and I'm okay with it. But I feel it, and in my behavior, I have a lot of their aspects too, like the straightforwardness. I am a little bit more talkative than the average Finn, and no alcohol involved. They need alcohol to be there. No, usually they don't talk that much unless they are comfy. When they feel comfy, they talk. But
Yeah.
or alcohol, one or the other. But I am the straightforward kind of person. I will tell you things straightforward to a fault. And
Me too. And
yeah,
that's and it has been to a fault in my past, absolutely.
it has been to a fault in my past too. But there are many similarities between Finnish culture and Japanese culture. There are.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This is why like there is a connection. I in the good and the bad too, because the other things, but the darker aspects, Finns have it too. So it's like that I feel a deep connection, and I don't think anyone is going to be able to take that away from me. So yeah, I'm basically adopted by a Finnish person, and that's why the flag over there.
That's why the flags. Mm.
The other yeah, so the family, you make your family once you have the knowledge and the age to decide, and when you meet the right people and destiny basically puts you together, you make your family.
That is good. And this like brings a tear to my eye. My mom's distant too, so I've heard I love you maybe twice. I haven't heard it once. So I've told my monster I love you every 5 to 10 minutes. My sister does the same to her daughter, because that is not something that we ever experienced in our youth.
With my dad, we don't do the I love you thing, but again, that's a Finnish thing. We don't say the word I love you, but we make sure that the other person knows. Sure.
Love languages, not all love languages are verbal.
We do it via actions and sharing, and like just sending like a heart emoji, just like, hey, thinking of you, like what that means, and caring for the other person. And that's how we know for sure that we love each other. But we don't say "Mä rakastan sua." It will be kind of weird. It's weird for Finns, and that's why
I'm curious. So you said "Mä rakastan sua." Yeah. So I learned it "rakastan sua."
Yeah, I said "rakastan sua."
Yeah. So it's not like there's not a difference between.
Some people say "mä rakastan sua" or "minä rakastan sinua," or just
does that make it like
when you say "minä rakastan sinua," it's more formal.
It's more formal.
But you just say "mä rakastan sua" is kind of in the middle, and then "rakastan sua" is like lingo.
Oh, okay.
It's when, for example, when you don't say "I love you," you just say "love you."
Love you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Aw.
That's the difference. Mina or ma is me, like
Mhm. I.
So that's that it really is that, just that.
I gotcha. In my opinion, the fault is not your own if you're being honest with someone. Yeah, you're doing what you believe is right.
It depends on the
Yeah, it's
person.
subjective. Values are subjective.
It depends on the person, because sometimes you're just giving them fuel, and that's all that they want. They just want fuel from you, and they are willing to take it and still hurt you.
I love you,
Yeah.
Debbie.
Love you, Debbie.
Hi, Tani.
Hi, Tani.
My tribe in Maryland is my family. Lots of love in my emergency contacts because they're reliable.
Being reliable. Yes.
My husband is far more reliable than my mother ever was. And he's still not great at it. So, like, we're learning, but like,
I try to be reliable as much as I can. Sometimes I take a while to respond, but I do respond.
mhm.
That's one of the red flags that lets me know when people don't want to deal with me anymore, is when they were reliable ones, very reliable, and then whoop, no longer reliable.
And
Like,
no longer reliable.
yeah, like, I don't have time for you anymore, and everything is excuses.
And that's a horrible place to be, is when you are cutting out the toxic people in your family and replacing them, basically, right? So I
not
totally
even
get it
not
now.
even replacing, but like just cutting them out.
Well,
Because
remolding what family means to you, right? So
there's a lot of discussions going on. It is part of self-care,
it
because
is
like,
part of self-care.
if people are being toxic to you, if people are like, if they don't have a desire to be reliable to you anymore, like, if that doesn't exist anymore, and they just build up excuse after excuse because they just don't want to talk to you anymore, or they are just not available for you anymore, they never express an emotion towards you, and you have to cut them off, it's part of self-care.
It's part of self-care.
Definitely is part of self-care.
I'm sitting on the same couch. Saying I love you is important, but showing it, never letting the person you love doubt it, is even more important. Absolutely. Because I love you can become an empty phrase.
Right.
Love you all so much. No, but shows.
Yeah.
As often as possible.
Right.
Relationships are a constant negotiation. Yeah. People are constantly informing us with their actions and inactions. It doesn't make them bad. They just can't be in my inner circle. I just think my mom's a bad mom.
Yeah.
I make jokes about being raised by a robot. Because she was that emotionally unavailable. There's a fairy tale. There's like a little horror story that was in Scary Stories They Tell in the Dark #2, I think, where it was a changeling story, and it was about two children who were being bad to their mother, and their mother was like, "Hey, you better clean up your act, or else I'm going to go away, and I'm going to be replaced by a version of me that has a wooden tail and glass eyes." And of course, the kids are increasingly bad, and indeed, their mother is replaced by a glass-eyed, wooden-tailed mother.
Kind of like that. It's kind of a little bit like that Coraline storyline, right?
Just a little bit. Just
A little bit. Because like she crosses into this other world, and there's this woman with the button eyes, and it's like the other mother thing.
Absolutely, it's the whole changeling thing. Waning friendships are sad. But relationships have to have some level of maintenance and communication so you are in the same plane. I do have members of my friends and family that we go a really long time without talking, but as soon as we I try and touch base every once in a while.
Mhm.
Um,
But but there is like an intuition that tells you when it's that kind of friendship and when it's another thing.
yeah,
There
but
is
most
like
of the time with the people that I pick, like we pick up right where we left off.
yeah.
Like where there's no like animosity because I disappeared for 2 years. Like
No, exactly.
we just pick up where we left off and we're still the best of friends.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. That is fine. I have friends like that too. Like I can maybe name a few names from the top of my head that I have friends like that. But you do realize when it's something else. When there is a gut feeling, there.
There is a gut feeling when
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 when people just replace you with someone new, like
yeah.
like the writer with the shiny new book idea. Well, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
What happened?
But my mom is a toddler. I have to accept her limitations. My sister is getting there, but my brother still wants to make her into a real mom, so they squabble a lot.
Oof.
That's rough. I have accepted my mom's limitations. I
I
was
also
when I went
I
into the
also
hospital.
accepted I also accepted my single parent, like the biological parent. I accepted my biological parent limitations. It's
Mhm.
fine. It's all right. I can handle it. But I choose my family elsewhere, and that my parent will also have to deal.
Mhm. 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 My BFF in America messaged me the other day worried because I hadn't spoken in 24 hours. Okay.
But it's a BFF case, right? Yeah.
So Bailey has been potty training successfully. But today she decided to climb onto the bathroom sink just to tinkle there. So close.
So close.
So close. Have a good baseline. Like when we hooked back up, we reconnected. We're open about our challenges and we had a desire to reconnect us, and so it works. Absolutely. And there were like what, 10 years, 13, like 10 years since we last talked. And then this like stream and hanging out on Facebook and stuff like that and talking witchy stuff and remembering we bonded over art. And like I just got your postcard for a Year of the Ox, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
My bestie and I are the same way. Best friends since 3rd grade, seeing everything together. After high school, we just sort of drifted apart, but every time we talk, it's like we never stopped.
That happens with my high school friend Amanda. Maybe we don't talk all the time because we're both very busy. But when we do, it's like, "Girl, how you been?" It's a different, but it's a gut feeling. Everything's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is fine. We are just doing our own thing. Sometimes that gut feeling is I have been abandoned. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And recently I saw another, I wouldn't say friend, but it's an acquaintance, and I care about this person. And I saw that this person was going through something very similar, like that this first person is feeling discarded. And oh my God, I jumped in. I was like, dude, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And at first the person was having a hard time because we're not friends, but we're acquaintances. And I was like, what's going on? And at first the person was reluctant to speak, and I was like, no, I am seeing your post, and dude, I relate. What happened? Like, blah blah blah. And we opened up a little bit, and this is something I told it in my newsletter, and I told this to this person yesterday, and I'm going to tell it to everybody here. You guys, you deserve respect. You deserve equality. It takes two to tango. This is not just about lovey dovey relationships. Every relationship takes two to tango.
Mhm.
Friendship, acquaintance, family, whatever. It takes two to tango. If you find yourself dancing along, when you're dancing alone, please leave the ballroom because you deserve respect. You deserve honesty and you deserve clarity. Do not allow anyone ever to devalue you.
I know that I only exist to my mother in relation to her.
Ouch. Yeah. Narcissistic parents.
She's a sociopath, and like for real was diagnosed in the army sociopath. So like that's what I grew up with. And she's more personable now than she ever was when I was a child, but she's still distant. So like when I went into the hospital, all I wanted was my mom to visit me. I was there for a week. Like, of all the times I needed my mom,
Yeah.
she wasn't there. Because she made it about her.
Right. Right. It hurts, but
So after that, I'm just like, I know the limitations with my mom. You know?
Same. It's like
I still find it frustrating, but
because we're human. We feel emotions. It is
I would like
frustrating.
to think we would get close at some point. I'm
Sometimes.
fucking 38 years old, and like I would like to think that I will be close to my mom before she dies. Like, even if it ends up being on her deathbed. Like, granted, she almost died 2 weeks ago. So, like,
yeah, that was rough.
That was particularly stressful for me because I wasn't expecting her to almost die overnight.
Yeah.
She's still young. You have to accept it's unfair for expecting things from my mom that she can't provide. And that's not fair to either of us. Here. I found others that are emotionally safe to meet my needs. Yeah, and I married him. And he only sort of meets my needs. He only sort of does that. Had a kid I babysat take a bath in the sink. Yeah. That can be hard to do, Tani. It's amazing you recognize the issue and you have other people to meet your needs. Loves kitchen sink baths. Oh, she likes the spray nozzle and it gets messy. It was hard. It's still a process. I have a whole binder for working on relationships because reviewing actions in paper hurts. Yeah. I love the dancing metaphor. You're amazing.
Thank you.
I am impressed you are doing the work.
I have been influenced by Argentina, I suppose, but it's a popular phrase. It takes to the tango.
Mm-hmm. It is a popular phrase. Great for the army and military, terrible for home life. Yep. She actually had to have that wiring in her brain in order for her to get the MOS that she got. Which, by the by, Robin Williams had the same MOS in the army. So that speaks volumes to me as to what was wrong with Robin Williams and why he went out the way he did.
That sounds tragic.
It was. I say my mom is bratty, but it does hurt when they don't show up. She was late to literally every graduation in my life, usually due to some drama with my brother or her current boyfriend. So you were never a priority.
I was kind of a priority when there was no one else in the picture. But when my biological parents found a partner or like a prospect of a partner, my graduations didn't matter. My activities didn't matter. Nothing mattered because the partner was the partner. New partner. Yay. And I was replaced. So My own biological parent did it to me. So this is why when a friend or acquaintance does it to me, I immediately, it's like a tug in my brain, I immediately lose respect.
Yeah.
And there's no going back from me. Like there's no going back. I close the door on you because you replaced me with your new partner, shiny new partner, whatever. We could be friends, whatever. I'm not talking about partnering relationships, but like you replaced me with your new little whatever. There's a door, it's closed, and it's not opening again for you. It's
Yeah.
it's that it's
I'm
that
done.
simple.
Thanks, drive through.
It is that simple. Because since my biological parent did, I found the root of the problem. Since my biological parent does the same, I'm like, I'm not gonna tolerate that from anybody else. It's like, no, you're out. Bye bye. And
I feel that way about friends that I have.
yeah,
Question
yeah.
mark? I think we're still friends. It's been a while since we've talked to each other. But like they they kind of like emotionally attacked me in ways that I wasn't prepared for. And I had to learn like where the limitations in our friendship was.
Yow. Yow. It's just not, it's not acceptable. It's one of the things that it's not acceptable to me. Like I have friends who are married already, like you, Sako, you're married. I have other writer friends who are already married, but you know they are already a partnership. You know they are a thing. My inacceptance comes when we are a bunch of singletons, you know, because we are okay with being singletons and it's fine, and we're just hanging out and we're just being friends, and then suddenly, whoop, shiny new partner, and the person is like my partner, and you become like a second class citizen or something, and you know what? Screw you. You were never honest. You were never honest. You got close to me for other purposes, and door with you.
Yeah,
Not
you got
acceptable.
close to me for other purposes.
It's a gut feeling, you know. It's noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not happening. And it's, I mean, I went through this kind of recently, so I had to learn, as you said, where the friendship really is, and where were the boundaries, and what were the limitations, and it led me to closing a door, which is sad, but I mean, it's once again, it is self-care. You really have to take care of yourself first, because if you don't take care of yourself, no one else will. Trust me, no one else will. Not the way that you should do it to yourself.
That's one of the reasons why the self-care thing that I run through this channel, because we often, especially as of 2020, you know,
Oof.
we often find ourselves without the people that take care of us.
Yeah.
Right? So, and there comes a point where you've got to take priority in your own list of things to take care of. Right? So Tani says that that's a pattern in my family when a partner is put over the children. I had to suppress that anger. That sucks. One even stole my Disney movies. No accountability. Our safety and peace wasn't a priority.
Dude, don't suppress your anger. Channel it elsewhere. Don't suppress
He
it.
did. You know, like I think they went to the extent to like, you know, put it into their art, put it into their craft.
Which is what I do. It is what I do. I put it in my art, like, or I sing it in a karaoke, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put everything into art. My latest flash fiction piece has to do precisely with putting emotions to the side,
Yeah, absolutely.
and how unhealthy that could become. You know, it's you channel this into something more productive. It's called sublimation. Is one of the 10 defense mechanisms by, I think it was, I don't remember who was the psychologist who came with this. I think it was Jung.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or no, I think it was Anna Freud. I don't remember who was the one who created this defense mechanisms of like projection, repression, denial, blah 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 blah. There were many, but sublimation is the one where you take whatever is bothering you and you channel it into something else. Could be art, could be sports, could be work of any kind, could be you channel this thing into something more productive. You take what bothers you and you channel it elsewhere, and that's one of the it's one of the healthiest and more mature defense mechanisms, and it's the one that I want to adopt every time. I should really look up who created those mechanisms.
I had no choice, and it was my art. It was in my art. I made sarcastic comics about my mom's exes. Thrifty man, champion of cheap.
I want the no wait no I sorry no I cannot read the comics because me blind. Because me blind, but I like this idea a lot. I if I could see like proper seeing, I would totally get them. Trust me, I like this a lot.
Yeah. So in 15 minutes, Sage is going to be going live on Twitch with their mental health and chill stream.
Awesome.
And I'm going to try and get on that as well. Especially since I didn't have therapy today.
Oh, that got canceled?
My therapist is in Cairo right now.
Right.
So, I don't think she's going to have time to actually work while she's over there. So,
makes sense. And time zones as well.
And time zones as well. But she's, got jet lag and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, Sage has a stream.
Sage has a stream, and I'm going to try and get on it.
Woo. I'll be in the chat at least. At the very least, I'll be in the chat.
At the very least. Well, thank you for joining me today, doll. Like, I'm really super honored, and it's really lovely to hear your wisdom regarding, relationships in the world and stuff like that from your perspective, because sometimes I feel like I'm a little over emotional.
I am over emotional, but like my flash fiction, emotions put to the side. I wrote that piece about someone else, but I felt like we were one as I was writing that piece. Like I became this character.
Yeah.
It sometimes you really have to.
Sometimes you really have to.
It doesn't mean that you suddenly become disengaged with your emotions. It just you temporarily put them aside. It's like a winter in your emotion landscape.
Just you have to come back to it and address it. And that's what shadow work is all about, is unearthing all of that stuff. So if you liked this video at any point, please hit the like button. If you would like to see what I do for the rest of this book, we're going to be talking about tea next time, like the kind you drink, the kind you take a bath in. And then you might want to subscribe, possibly ring that bell so that you actually get the notifications that I go live. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.